Good morning, welcome back to Marty's Tying Bench. I'm putting together Vice Squad kits, and this week we're going to tie a PB emerger. It's a little midge pupa. I call it a PB emerger. The PB stands for peacock bead. We're going to tie the miracle version, the white, with copper rib, but it's very effective in a number of different colors. Chartreuse one, you don't see chartreuse midges, but I think they eat it as a little caddis. I fish that one in the summertime. Anyway, size 18 is what we're going to tie. Any scud hook. I'll tie these down to 20. You get down to 22 and you better be able to find some 15-aught beads, some very small beads. But this is 18's, very common size. The peacock bead is killer caddis peacock. If you can't find those at your fly shop, you can get peacock beads at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, that kind of place. Now, we're tying this with white thread, and you do want it to be 8/0 or 70 denier. You want to keep it nice and fine. The Danvilles and the UTC, I think, work a little better. They're a little easier to flatten out than either Vivus or Uni. Tying some copper wire in. You can use extra small. I like small because I want the rib to stand up a little bit. And I'm going to make touching turns to tie that in along my side of the shank. And make sure you get it down the bend a little ways. I think that bend, when the thing tumbles in the water, you know, the two-dimensional view a fish gets of it makes it look like it's wiggling. Now I'm going to come forward, but I don't want to come all the way to the bead. I need space and a little well up there to tie in the wing, and you'll see that here in a minute. Let's go ahead and rib. Probably get about 5 ribs here. And that's 5 ribs that didn't go all the way to the bead. I'm going to tie that thread up against the wire, twist it off. And I'm going to exaggerate it a little bit. I think you'll be able to see this. I'm building kind of a little thread wall right up against the wire, but I'm still leaving space behind the bead, because that's where we're going to sit our wing. Now you got a piece of macrame yarn, and you got 1 strand out of 8, and that little 1/8 strand that you got, you'll want to peel that out and just get maybe 1/3 of that. It doesn't take very much density here. Slide that right behind the bead and start making turns of thread right behind the bead. And as soon as it fills that up and gets up high enough to tie in the wing, you're pretty much done. There's room for a couple more turns on a whip finish. Head cement's a good idea. If this collar of thread that I'm tying here gets too big, it can want to slide down towards the back of the fly and kind of ruin the profile of it. Trim this somewhere 1/2 to 3/4 the length. And you probably have a length that pleases you. There you go. You can do all kinds of things. You can lacquer that body. You can put a little super glue or resin on it or something like that, but a couple of whip finishes and this holds up just fine. Miracle Nymph version of the PB Emerger. Try it in a couple of colors. Have fun.